to a lock. I've said that a few times recently, haven't I? This is a different lock. I will fish different venues during the course of the next few months in particular, but one of the common denominators is I will be next to a lock. It's quite wet, and I've got my brolly up which has a leak just above me. Like most of my tackle, it gets put through its paces, so once I've had even rods or chairs, umbrellas certainly for a few weeks or so, it's dropping down my neck there. Once I've had them for a few weeks or so, they look like I've had them for a couple of years or more. The important thing is though, all the stuff around us, it's a means to an end, and the end is to catch fish. Oh, and I've got a little tap there. That's an encouraging start, isn't it? It's about going to where the fish are, and I'm just crouching down now, as you can see from the screen, because I'm getting the taps, and I struck, but nothing at all. The maggot, I'm fishing on a size 16 hook, or size 18 hook, and the maggot is untouched. Wasn't a roach, I'm absolutely sure. That was a perch. That's my quarry for today. Regarding the elements, especially when it comes to rain, a lot of people don't like rain, do they? But as far as I'm concerned, it's not an issue. It doesn't affect anything that I do, unless it has a direct bearing on it, of course. But when it comes to fishing, although the rivers may be up and down, depending on the amount of rainfall we have, the canals, the still waters, generally speaking, they'll be okay. What we have got today though, we have had some heavy rain over the last day or so, is we've got a horrible colour in the canal itself. That's because the soil from the surrounding area gets washed in, and on this particular section, or several sections where I am, it's a deathly grey, which I'm not a big fan of. I find that I do struggle when it's like that. But another saying that I use on a regular basis, and I have done for many, many years, is that as long as your bait's in the water, you've got a chance. I was greatly encouraged by that little tap or two just now, and when I come back, however long it takes, I'll be back with a fish. A boat came through. That made it very slow indeed for a certain amount of time. It's been slow anyway, but the rod tip just started to dance around, not like a Northern Soul dancer, more like a shy dancer up against the wall in a nightclub. Just a little bit of the tapping of the feet, but I'll tell you what, they all count however they come. It's a very murky day. Although it stopped raining, it's going to be darker earlier than I would have hoped for. It's often the case, isn't it, when it's an overcast, cloudy, dark day, then it gets darker earlier than you expected. However, that's okay. I've probably got about 20 minutes or so left. It has been very quiet indeed. As it stands at the moment, I'm just on the right side of the line. But I'm fishing, and I always enjoy getting out at the water's edge. Catching is nice, of course. That's what you want to do. But I do love the great outdoors. Very much indeed. I'm watching the rod top. It's just beneath me there, alongside the lock itself. You've got the channel that goes into the lock, and then as it begins to open out, I'm right there. So I'm back a little bit, as far as I can. I've got a wall behind me, can't get back too far, so I'm fishing alongside the canal, if you can picture that in your mind. So my rod is alongside, and then just hanging over into the water where I've got the bait beneath. Water temperature's good, it's on the increase, and if you do follow the written blog entries on my website as well as just the videos, then you'll know that I've been recording them in recent weeks, well, since October, and you can see the pattern, how it develops, and it has been falling just slowly over time, but then the last couple of sessions it's been on the increase. That's always a good factor, it's always a good statistic to have in front of you when you're planning your fishing sessions, because I've talked recently about bait and feeding in particular, how much you put out there, and it was also determine which species you go for. It's still okay for tench at the moment. If you want to have a very, very late tench session, you'll still catch tench with the temperatures that we've got at the moment. But I'm after perch today, just the one so far. Will I end with that one fish, or will I add to the tally? We'll see.